Ever walked past a garden and felt like you were stepping into another world? What if your entryway could do that, even in the smallest space? In this video, we'll uncover 28 plus magical front garden ideas featuring rustic gates and dreamy arches. This is Arkan Aesthetic Studio, where simple spaces bloom with soul. Each scene is time-stamped. Explore what you love. And if any idea sparks something in you, say it in the comments. Maybe to you, this is just another garden video. But behind this screen, there's a real person and a family pouring hope into every frame. Subscribing doesn't just support a creator. It keeps a small dream alive, one beautiful idea at a time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for seeing us. One, rustic wooden gate with wildflower frame. Imagine stepping through a weathered oak gate, its grain softened by years of sun and gentle rain. Wildflowers bloom like a painted welcome, poppies sway in coral red, daisies beam in butter yellow, and lavender hums with bees in purple clusters. This entryway is more than a passage. It is a pause, a promise, a poem written in petals and wood. The low stone walls curve like open arms, inviting you into a world where time slows. Above, a handmade arch cradles climbing roses, their blush pink petals falling like memories to the gravel path below. Each step on the crunchy path echoes softly, surrounded by whispers of wind and humming life. Here, nature has claimed beauty as her canvas. Foxglove spires peek over green hedges, calendula glows like sunbursts, and rosemary scents the air with earthy calm. There's no pretense, only charm, the kind you find in countryside dreams or well-loved gardens behind quiet homes. This is not a showpiece, it is a soul piece, a front garden gate that greets not just guests, but stories, seasons, and slow morning walks. A living frame, both humble and glorious, where every bloom plays its part in the quiet magic of arrival. Two, stone archway with cascading ivy. Beneath the hush of afternoon shade, a stone archway rises, timeless and grounded, softened by the weight of cascading ivy. Its old stones, rough and worn by years of rain and sun, form a frame not only for what lies beyond, but for what lies within. The ivy trails like silk threads from a secret loom, its green hands gently brushing the shoulders of those who pass. Below, a cobblestone path, edged with moss, curves into the hidden heart of a garden no map could chart. It's a place found by feeling, not by searching. A wrought iron gate, delicate, blackened with time, opens silently, as if welcoming without sound. Hostas gather at the base of the arch like loyal companions, their leaves wide and proud. Ferns bow softly in the breeze, and foxglove nods in tall clusters behind. Everything breathes slowly here. A stone birdbath ripples with the touch of a curious sparrow, while bluebells ring silently in dappled light. This entrance is a whisper to the soul, a promise that beyond this arch is peace. Not the grand kind, but the quiet one, the kind where ivy listens and stones remember. A retreat hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who walk gently and believe in gardens that keep secrets. 3. Barnwood gate with pergola accent and clematis blooms. Time leaves fingerprints in wood, and this Barnwood gate carries them proudly, its faded red planks telling quiet stories of seasons past. Hinged in blackened iron, it creaks open beneath a pergola where purple clematis spills like velvet poetry overhead. The pergola is old but strong, its beams softened by moss and sun. Through the slats, warm daylight filters, casting patterns on the stone path below. A flagstone trail kissed by time's tiny blossoms and the cheerful hues of marigolds and zinnias. Every petal seems to smile here. Beyond the gate, the garden hums, not loudly, but like a melody remembered from childhood. Geraniums bloom in terracotta pots like forgotten gifts. The scent of earth, wood, and flower mingles in the air, grounding you, lifting you, all at once. This is a gate that doesn't just open, it embraces. It tells you, welcome home, even if it's your first time. There's a lived-in magic here, not polished but personal, where vines grow with abandon and charm hides in every knot of wood. Step through slowly. Let the color, the texture, and the sunlight wrap around you. This is a portal not just into a garden, but into a feeling of warmth, of memory, of timeless invitation. Four, wrought iron gate under rose-covered arch. Some gates whisper. This one sings. A wrought iron portal of curving lines and crafted scrolls, standing beneath an arch ablaze with roses. They tumble in joyful abandon, blush, red, cream. Their soft petals kissing the air and drifting onto worn cobblestones like confetti from nature herself. The arch, weathered cedar, frames the scene like a forgotten painting, blooming into life each spring. Lavender flanks the path with quiet dignity, their purple spikes brushing against passing feet, releasing scent with every touch. Bees hum gently, moving from blossom to blossom like keepers of grace. Just beyond the gate, a stone bench waits. Not new, not polished, but timeless, moss-softened, and inviting. It's a seat for daydreams, for letters never sent, for resting between garden wanderings. The interplay here is subtle yet powerful. Iron strength and rose softness, bold black and pastel bloom, shadow and light. It doesn't ask to be admired, it simply exists in harmony. This entryway doesn't just open to a garden, it opens to romance. Not the loud kind, but the enduring one. A slow blooming love story, where every visit feels like the first time, and every rose has its reason. Five, split rail fence gate with grapevine trellis. There's a kind of welcome that doesn't need words, just wood, vine, and light. The split rail fence gate creaks softly as it swings open, cedar-scented and honest. It stands beneath a humble trellis, its beams tangled with grapevine leaves and the early shimmer of fruit, not quite ripe but full of promise. Beneath your feet, a gravel path meanders gently. On either side, pansies smile in bursts of violet, yellow, and cream, their faces turned toward the sun. Violas nestle at their feet like shy companions, and the air carries the earthy perfume of rosemary and thyme from clay pots scattered with care. The trellis casts shifting shadows, and the light plays across the garden like a song in motion. There's no grandeur here, just grace. A simplicity that wraps you in comfort and reminds you of slow days and full hearts. In the distance, a small patch of vegetables rises from the soil, framed by buzzing bees and flitting butterflies. Life is growing everywhere, quietly, steadily. This garden gate is a passage not just to a space, but to a feeling, one rooted in home, in hand-grown beauty, in peace that asks for nothing but presence. It's not elaborate, but it is everything. Six, cobblestone arch with climbing honeysuckle and wooden gate. Solid as memory, gentle as scent. The cobblestone arch stands tall, its rounded stones worn by time, softened by moss and weather. Beneath it, an oak gate opens not with force, but with grace, the kind of entrance that doesn't ask, but invites. Above, honeysuckle wraps its way skyward, blooming in quiet cream and soft gold. Its fragrance floats like a forgotten lullaby, clinging gently to the summer air. The petals flutter with each breeze, as if waving hello to passing souls. Step through, and your feet find cobblestones again, this time beneath, where a winding path is framed by soft sedum and slender grasses. They sway but never startle, their movement part of the garden's silent rhythm. Solar lanterns hang like promises on either side, catching the light, waiting for dusk to whisper them alive. In the shaded corners beyond, ferns curl, and echinacea blooms lean with the grace of dancers in still motion. This is an entrance not built to impress, but to endure. It is a door to stillness, to story, to something that feels like sanctuary. Here, elegance lives in texture, in scent, in light, a garden greeting you not with spectacle, but with soul. Seven, rustic metal gate with willow branch arch. The gate stands quiet, yet alive, forged in rustic steel, its surface kissed by rust and etched with curling vines that echo the garden beyond. Above it, the arch isn't built, it's grown. Willow branches, twisted by hand and time, form a soft curve, a cradle for climbing morning glories in bloom. The flowers rise in waves of blue and violet, reaching for the sun like poetry turned to petal. Their soft trumpets open toward the sky, catching light, calling bees, and welcoming the breeze. As you pass through, the brick path greets your steps with warmth. Boxwood hedges line your way, tidy, yet softened by nearby marjoram and alyssum that tumble gently from handmade clay borders. A small birdhouse rests quietly on a wooden post, its opening dark and still, as if awaiting the flutter of a new story. Beyond it, the garden thickens with color and calm, like a secret waiting to be read. This is a gate that knows balance, where metal meets vine, where strong lines soften into song. A garden portal not made for grandeur, but for grace. It doesn't shout. It opens, and the world inside whispers back. Eight, reclaimed timber gate with jasmine and stone pillars. A A gate made from old timber does not just open, it remembers. Its surface tells stories in grooves and grains, shaped by seasons, softened by time. It rests between two slate pillars, tall and unshaken, their stones stacked like chapters in a novel of earth and weather. Overhead, star jasmine weaves its way across a quiet trellis. Its blooms gleam in ivory clusters, their perfume tender and nostalgic, drifting softly into the warm air. The scent is sweet, but grounded, like a lullaby sung by the land. At the base, the path curls forward, lined with salvia flames and golden coreopsis, their petals dancing in the breeze, a celebration beneath the quiet structure above. The gravel crunches gently underfoot, grounding each step with the certainty of stone and soil. The pillars wear lanterns like crowns, simple solar lights, waiting for nightfall to cast a soft glow across the jasmine's bloom. Behind it all, the garden breathes. Fruiting vines, flowering shrubs, wild things that grow by their own rhythm. This entrance does not boast. It welcomes. It's where stories are held, not displayed, where nature and nurture meet in every crack, curve, and bloom. A gate into a world that feels lived in, rooted, and quietly wondrous. (9) Whitewashed picket gate with rose trellis arch. It begins with a simple gate, whitewashed, weathered, a little crooked in the way that charm often is. Each slat whispers of gentle hands and quiet afternoons, of seasons painted layer by layer in time. The gate swings open beneath a cedar arch wrapped in climbing roses. Their petals tumble in waves, blush and crimson, velvet soft, a living curtain of color and scent. The air hums with lavender and catmint, their fragrance cool and comforting, brushing the ankles like the greeting of an old friend. Flagstones guide you forward, uneven yet familiar, warmed by the sun and softened by moss. To the side, a wrought iron bench waits in shadow, curled arms catching the light, inviting pauses for thought, or tea, or silence. Behind the gate, the garden stirs, hollyhocks swaying, snapdragons nodding, all alive with the kind of joy that doesn't shout. It simply blooms. This entrance is more than decorative, it's emotional. A threshold that blurs the line between inside and outside, between what you tend and what you let grow wild. It welcomes not just visitors, but memories, feelings, and dreams that smell faintly of roses. (10) Iron scroll gate with wisteria draped wooden arch. The gate catches light like lace in shadow, iron scrolls twisting in delicate defiance, crafted with grace and held by time. It opens not to impress, but to enchant. Above it, oak beams rise strong, their surface worn with wisdom. And from those beams, wisteria falls, long, trailing blooms in shades of lilac, lavender, and whispering dusk. The air smells of petals and wood. Bees murmur among the blossoms, soft-winged and busy. A cobblestone path unfurls beneath, each stone warm and uneven beneath gentle steps. On either side, thyme and chamomile brush the ankles with perfume and memory, their blooms tiny but insistent. Beyond the gate, the garden thickens. Sage leaves shimmer silver in the sun. Mint rustles beside rose bushes where petals spill like secrets. It's not a place to rush through, it's a moment to enter. This entry is elegance grounded in earth. The iron gate, the oak arch, the wisteria's veil. They combine like a story whispered rather than told. You do not simply pass through here, you arrive. Into stillness, into scent, into a garden that seems to have been waiting for you, long before you knew to come. "11. Weathered barn gate with grapevine canopy. Faded red and full of soul, the old barn gate opens like a sigh from the past. Its planks are thick, its paint chipped by time, and its hinges creak like an old song. Above, grapevines twist and curl, weaving a living ceiling of green, heavy with leaves and early fruit. Sunlight filters through in patterns, here, bright gold, there, cool shadow. The air smells of basil and warm earth. On either side of the gravel path, zinnias and cosmos burst in joyful hues, a wild celebration beneath the calm shade. Terracotta pots sit proudly along the edge, holding herbs that brush your fingers as you pass. Oregano, mint, parsley, simple, fragrant, alive. This is a garden that doesn't pretend, it lives. The vine canopy sways gently overhead, and lanterns hang like stars waiting for nightfall. In the distance, a raised bed promises tomatoes, while a wooden bench invites rest, tea, and unrushed thoughts. Here, nature has been invited, not arranged. It grows freely but kindly, wild but wise. The barn gate doesn't guard, it greets. It lets you in with a nod and a smile, into a space where things grow, not just plants, but peace. "12. Stone pillars with cedar gate and clematis trellis. Two stone sentinels stand with quiet pride, rough, moss-kissed, and eternal. Their surfaces tell stories in lichen and shadow, holding space for a gate of cedar that glows softly in the afternoon light. The gate is not grand, but it is beautiful, its smooth grain a contrast to the rugged stone that flanks it. Above, purple clematis vines bloom like a crown, draping their blossoms across a simple wooden trellis. The petals are velvet against the sky, humming with bees and summer. A brick path winds inward, cool and grounding. On each side, sedum spills low to the ground, mingling with ornamental grasses that catch the breeze like quiet whispers. There is movement here, but it's gentle, the kind of dance only nature knows. This entrance is made not for display, but for devotion, to time, to texture, to timelessness. It invites you without rush, without noise. You pass through it as you would into a story that has been waiting for you, already in motion. It's not just a way in, it's a way back, to calm, to softness, to something real beneath the bloom and stone. "13. Rustic iron gate with honeysuckle on pergola arch. The gate stands with quiet strength, forged in rustic iron, darkened by rain and sun, etched with curling leaves that mimic the garden around it. It does not shine, but it holds presence, as though it has always been there. Above, a pergola of weathered beams stretches wide, its wood textured by time and the grace of imperfections. Honeysuckle dances through the slats, draping soft blooms of pink and white like whispered laughter overhead. Their scent lingers gently, a perfume of nostalgia and bloom. Step forward, and the flagstone path welcomes your feet. To the left, salvia blazes in violet flame. To the right, lavender leans in with calming scent. Together they frame your journey inward, not just into a garden, but into quiet. The string lights woven through the pergola wait patiently for dusk, but even unlit, they charm the eye. Behind them, the garden unfolds with generous color. Foxglove, catmint, delphinium, and mint, growing as if they've never known restraint. This entrance is not a showpiece, it's a moment. A pause between what was and what could be. A place where steel meets bloom, and structure gives way to softness. Step through, and feel how even the strongest things can hold beauty. "14. Lattice wooden gate with Ivorraped stone arch." The lattice gate stands lightly, a gentle invitation, its soft sage green whispering calm before a single step is taken. Open in pattern and promise, it offers glimpses of what lies beyond. Mystery, shade, green upon green. Framing it, the stone arch looms not heavy, but timeless. Its surface is uneven, worn by wind and years, softened by ivy that cascades down like nature's curtain. The leaves flicker in the breeze, catching bits of sunlight, brushing softly against stone and air. The path beneath is cobbled, ancient in feel, familiar in sound. It leads between lush borders where ferns stretch like quiet dancers and hostas hold water like secrets. Each step forward deepens the hush, as if the garden beyond speaks only to those who enter gently. Lanterns sway from the arch, waiting patiently for twilight to reveal their glow. And behind the gate, the woodland thickens, a shaded sanctuary painted with dappled light, drifting petals, and the scent of moss and mint. This entrance is less a threshold and more a transformation. It does not demand you walk through, it draws you in, like a memory you haven't made yet. A place where every leaf feels like a welcome, and every breeze a gentle hush saying, "You've arrived." "15. Miniature greenhouse entry with arched trellis gate, Tambahan inspirative." It looks like a dream stitched from glass and wood, a miniature greenhouse gate, half garden, half sanctuary. Framed by an arched trellis that leans into the sky, this entrance doesn't just open into a garden, it grows into one. Nasturtiums wind upward with fiery petals, orange, red, golden yellow, while cherry tomato vines spill over with shy green fruits, glowing softly under the sun. The gate itself, painted in weathered white, is latticed like lace, flanked by glass panes that catch the morning light like memory. The path ahead is made from old bricks, each one slightly crooked, completely perfect. Raised herb beds hug the sides, calendula blazing like bottled sunshine, mint spreading wild and cool, lemon balm breathing citrus into the breeze. Hanging baskets overflow with strawberries and basil, and ceramic birds perch as if paused mid-song. There's no grandness here, only closeness, to the ground, to the air, to the joy of things that grow where they're loved. This is an entry not to a garden, but to intention. A space for healing, harvesting, and humble beauty. Step through the greenhouse gate, and you're not just inside a garden, you're part of it. 16. Curved bamboo gate with hanging fern canopy. It arches like a quiet breath, the bamboo gate, smooth to the touch and golden in the filtered light. Its shape is gentle, almost shy, curving softly like a bow held loosely. No hinges, just space and welcome. Above it, ferns hang thick and full, their fronds falling like a green waterfall. Boston ferns ripple in the breeze, staghorns cling proudly to wooden mounts. The air beneath is cool, scented with moss and morning. The path is soft, not paved, but living. Moss blankets the ground in a hush of green, while stepping stones peek through like secrets. Each step feels grounded, deliberate, slow. To the side, caladiums lift their heart-shaped leaves like painted fans, red and pink against the green, while Calouse adds a spark of whimsy in chartreuse and burgundy. A wind chime sings once, lightly, like a punctuation in stillness. Behind the gate, the garden deepens into shadow and silence, where only leaf and light converse. This isn't a gate to pass through in haste. It's one you pause beneath, letting the ferns brush your hair, letting the calm settle in your chest. A passage not into land, but into rhythm. (17) French country blue gate with lavender border. The gate stands like a promise, painted in the softest shade of sky, worn where hands have pressed over the years. Its rounded top and quiet blue invite not just guests, but memory. A French country heart beating gently between wood and light. On either side, lavender stretches like wings, full, fragrant, alive. Their violet spikes sway with bees, their scent drifting up to meet the breeze like the soft echo of a lullaby. Beneath them, lambs curl silver-soft, and daisies peek out like little suns. The terracotta path is warm beneath your steps, its tiles uneven but honest, leading you forward at the pace of slow days. Off to the side, an old watering can leans lazily against a stone, not forgotten, just resting. Behind it all, cypress trees stand slender and still, like silent witnesses to seasons past. This entrance doesn't call out, it smiles. It is the kind of beauty that doesn't fade with time, but grows more tender. A space shaped not just by design, but by feeling. You don't simply open this gate, you breathe it in. (18) Mediterranean arched entry with olive trees. Built from stone warmed by centuries of sun, the archway stands like a memory etched into earth. Sandstone blocks in honey and peach tones glow gently in the heat, as if lit from within. On each side, olive trees stand in wide terracotta urns, their trunks twisted like old stories, their silver-green leaves shimmering with every breeze. They do not grow fast, but they endure, like the best things. The path beyond is made of terracotta, uneven and welcoming. Between its cracks, time creeps silently, releasing scent when stepped on. To the sides, rosemary brushes the air with a scent both sharp and calming. White oleander leans toward the light, blooming with effortless elegance. Lavender hides in pockets, and a few scattered mosaic tiles flash color from the corners. Blues, golds, deep reds, like fragments of song. This is an entrance that leads not to spectacle, but to sanctuary, to warm air, stillness, and the hush of leaves. A gate that doesn't separate but connects, between past and present, between stone and bloom, between rootedness and light. (19) Cottagecore herb garden gate with vintage signage. The gate creaks slightly as it opens, white, weathered, and gently worn. Its slats lean in like old friends. Each brush of chipped paint a story from summers past. Above it, a faded wooden sign swings gently in the breeze, its hand-painted letters spelling out Herb Haven in curling strokes. Inside, the path is mulch and memory. Stepping stones peek through the herb beds like stepping through a recipe written by the earth. Lemon balm brushes your ankles with a citrus kiss, calendula reaches toward the sun in golden bursts, and chamomile waves softly like a field of tiny stars. Chalkboard markers tilt between the stems, handwritten, imperfect, perfect. Climbing sweet peas curl up the trellis to the side, their blossoms shy and pastel. A vintage watering can leans near the gate, as if recently used and lovingly set aside. The scent here is layered, thyme and soil, sage and sun. It is a garden of touch and taste, of growing things and groundedness. This is not a space made to impress, it's made to soothe. A cottagecore escape where every leaf has a use, every bloom a purpose, and every corner holds something both useful and beautiful. (20) Japanese-inspired torii gate with moss walkway. The torii stands silent, red, time-worn, and still, rising from the moss like a memory made solid. It marks no grand boundary, yet stepping beneath it feels like crossing into something sacred. Beneath your feet, the moss is thick and soft, its green hush inviting you to tread gently. Stepping stones lie like anchored thoughts, placed with intention, weathered with patience. On either side, the garden whispers in textures. Ferns curl into quiet shapes, ornamental grasses bow in the breeze, and stone lanterns stand in calm companionship. There are no loud blooms here, only balance. In the near distance, water drops from a bamboo spout, the rhythmic tap of the shushurodoshi echoing like a heartbeat. A raked gravel bed cradles this sound, as if sculpted by stillness itself. This is not a garden of color, but of feeling. A place where air moves slower and breath deepens. The torii doesn't demand reverence, it gently reveals it. You don't step through to escape the world, but to remember your place in it. Among the moss, the wood, the sound, you are not outside the garden. You are part of it. (21) Victorian-style white iron gate with hydrangea bushes. The gate stands proud and delicate, a frame of white iron curls and blossoms frozen in metal. Its Victorian soul whispers of handwritten letters, lace-edged tea cloths, and gardens tended by hand and heart. As it swings open with a gentle click, you're met with a bloom of hydrangeas, large, lush, and unapologetically full. Blue like summer skies, pink like whispered secrets, and white like old photographs. They lean in from both sides, brushing the path with soft intention. The gravel crunches faintly underfoot. Behind you, rose vines climb along the wall, their blooms catching sunlight like blushes caught in porcelain. A terracotta pot overflows with geraniums, and from a lace-draped window nearby, the world watches quietly. A bird dips low and darts past, as if drawn by the romance of it all. And it is romantic, this entrance. Not flashy, not showy, but the kind of beauty that stays. Here, every detail holds story. Iron twirls made by old hands, petals heavy with dew, and light that falls just so. You don't just pass through this gate. You step into a garden that remembers. '22. Fairy light-wrapped arch with polka dot plants and verbena. The arch isn't tall, but it holds enchantment. Wrapped in fine strands of copper fairy lights, silent in daylight, sparkling in promise, it waits quietly, a frame for something unseen yet already felt. At its feet, the garden laughs in color. Polka dot plants flicker in pinks and whites, their leaves like painted whispers. Nearby, verbena blooms in purples and berry shades, joyful, bright, and humming with bees. Each step beneath the arch is a soft landing on mossy stone, cradled in green. The garden beyond doesn't shout, it plays. Creeping jenny spills golden light across the ground, while columbine nods gently in pale blues and burgundy, like fairytale bells caught mid-chime. A rustic wooden bench rests beneath the shade of an old tree, half in sunlight, half in memory. It waits for stories, for books, for slow sips of something warm. This entrance feels like a secret kept sweetly, a passage into wonder crafted not from grandeur, but from tiny blooms and quiet sparkle. Here, whimsy isn't a decoration, it's a language. And the garden speaks fluently in light, leaf, and joy. '23. Pergola tunnel gate with bougainvillea overhead. It begins like a whisper in bloom, a tunnel of timber and light, crowned in bougainvillea. The pergola stretches long and low, each wooden arch cloaked in blossoms that fall in waves of pink and magenta, like laughter tangled in vines. The petals spill from above and drift to the warm brick path below, where their color dances against sun-baked clay. Each step feels part of something older, a walk through beauty not designed, but discovered. Terracotta pots anchor the base, brimming with succulents and trailing greens that soften the structure's rhythm. Their quiet presence grounds the joy above. Light filters through in golden patches, dappled, fleeting, playful, as if sunlight itself wanted to stay a little longer beneath the flowers. Beyond, the garden opens like a secret revealed slowly. There is the hush of lavender in the breeze, the hum of bees among rosemary, and the faint scent of lemon carried from somewhere nearby. This is more than an entry. It's an invitation to linger, beneath blossoms that bloom wildly, unapologetically. It doesn't lead to a destination. It is one. '24. Minimalist Zen stone gate with clipped topiary path. The gate does not declare, it simply is. A clean frame of stone, pale and cool, standing silent like a doorway to thought. There are no vines, no carvings, no flourish, only form, still and balanced. Underfoot, the gravel path crunches softly, white and fine, with each step chosen, not wandered. Stepping stones guide the rhythm forward, placed as if composing a quiet song. On either side, topiary stands like meditation, clipped spheres and cubes of green, breathing calm into the space between. They don't reach or bloom, they hold. Their presence sharp, but never loud. A shallow water bowl mirrors the sky, still and uninterrupted. Smooth black river stones surround it, a grounding circle amid the pale. Nearby, tall grasses move in wind that cannot be heard. This is a gate that asks nothing, not even attention. It leads not to a garden of color, but of clarity. Each shape, each shadow, a brushstroke in a painting meant to be felt, not shown. To pass through is to slow down, to step softly, to remember space. Not everything must bloom to be beautiful. '25. Rustic gate framed by berry-laden shrubs. The gate leans slightly to the left, not in weakness, but in welcome. Its surface is raw, weathered, and warm, each grain and not a fingerprint of time. You reach out, and it yields without protest, opening into a space bursting with fruit and light. On either side, shrubs press close, heavy with berries. Red viburnum clusters glow like lanterns in the green, while blueberry bushes offer soft indigo pearls among their waxy leaves. Birds flit between them, daring and quick. The ground is soft with straw and scattered with fallen berries, their juice painting the earth in quiet celebration. Each step lands on stone, uneven and honest, guiding you further into a garden that grows by instinct, not plan. A birdhouse rests nearby, weathered wood and crooked charm, as if placed by a child and left by time. Behind it, fruit vines twist upward, tangling through trellis and wire, pulling sky downward into bloom. This entrance is wild in the gentlest way, sweet, unkept, alive. It reminds you that beauty isn't only in petals, it's in ripeness, in stain, in the way a garden feeds more than the eyes. '26. Vintage French shutter door gate with eucalyptus garland. They weren't built as a gate. Once, they framed sunlight through an old villa window. But now these weathered French shutters stand tall in the garden, their pastel blue flaked by time, their slats whispering secrets between light and shadow. Draped above them is a garland, eucalyptus leaves cool and fragrant, wound lovingly with soft roses, breathy ranunculus, and baby's breath like lace. It spills just slightly, as though it grew there on its own. The shutters creak open to reveal a grass path dotted with clover, the stepping stones uneven in the most charming way. Foxgloves rise tall and white in the borders, and delphiniums shimmer pale like morning mist. Beside the gate, an antique watering can leans gently, its handle worn smooth. A breeze moves through, lifting the eucalyptus and stirring the scent of lavender carried in from somewhere deeper. This entrance is part found, part placed, a touch of Provence planted in soil that remembers love. It doesn't just lead into a garden. It feels like one. Every detail here speaks of softness, of story, of stillness. Not perfect, just perfectly beloved. '27. Salvaged iron fence gate with nasturtium and chamomile. The iron gate stands quietly, aged, rescued, and rooted. Its curves are softened by time, its hinges sing with memory. Not perfect, but purposeful, like something once forgotten, now found and flourishing. Nasturtium vines curl through its frame, unbothered by boundaries. Their petals burst in glowing orange, crimson, and yellow, a joyful rebellion against rust. They climb, they spill, they laugh. Beneath your step, the stones are cool and uneven. Chamomile hugs the edges, releasing their gentle apple scent with every brush. Their blooms, simple white stars with golden hearts, create a path that feels both planted and gifted. Terracotta pots cluster casually nearby. Parsley here, dill there, chives reaching skyward. This is a garden that feeds, not just the body, but the soul. And beyond? A space where herbs and flowers mingle without fences, where bees hum low and leaves sway slow. It is wild in the way that healing is, soft, fragrant, untamed. This gate wasn't made to impress, it was made to belong, to stand open and let life climb through. And it does, beautifully. '28. Mossy wood portal with hanging planters of calendula and mint. It stands like something remembered in a dream, the wooden gate, arched and solid, softened by moss that clings gently to its grain. Reclaimed from old barns or forgotten fences, it now opens to something tender. Hanging from either side, two baskets sway. One spills with calendula, bright and gold, like bottled sun. The other trails mint, its green leaves brushing the breeze with sharp, clean breath. They don't just decorate the gate, they bless it. The mulch path beneath crunches quietly, flanked by marjoram and lemon thyme that rise in low mounds, fragrant and familiar. Each step forward feels like an exhale, like stepping out of the rush and into rhythm. The garden beyond glows with life, not in symmetry, but in sincerity. Edible flowers mingle with wild greens. A patch of borage nods beside violets. The air hums. This gate was not crafted for grandeur. It was grown into its place, shaped by weather, held by plants, honored by time. To enter here is to be reminded that nature doesn't need to be neat to be sacred. Sometimes, it is the softest things that hold the deepest welcome. If this video meant something to you, please know that subscribing means the world to me. You're not just supporting content, you're supporting a dream that keeps my family going. Thank you, truly. I'd also love to hear from you. What did you enjoy the most? Is there anything I could do better to keep inspiring or simply entertaining you? Your feedback helps this channel grow with heart and purpose. Let me know in the comments. I read every one.